Good day, everyone. This is Hayden Jamal of HaydenJamal.com, back with another video. Today, I wanted to talk about how do you identify music promotion scams. So my rappers and my singers, we've got somebody in the email saying they can promote us. We got someone on Twitter saying they can promote us, and we're wondering whether or not they're scammers. I think it's a good business opportunity and just good business ethics and good practice for you to go ahead and ask as many questions as possible, to review over all the information that they present to you, just so you can have an idea of what the market is like and also what kinds of quote unquote game people are trying to run on you. Here's the thing. The first way you can identify a scammer, you've got to ask very, very specific questions. Let me give you an example. If I were to come to you and say I can promote your music via Twitter, I can do this with very specific actions. All things that we're trying to do, or all things that I would be trying to do for you on your Twitter profile, would be very action oriented. So I would give you a line of different things that I would do, things that I wouldn't do, and what kind of results you could possibly see with it, what the best case scenario would be, what the worst case scenario would be. Generally, when it comes to promoting something like music, there is no guarantee. So the first thing, if someone is guaranteeing you a specific amount of plays or a specific amount of exposure to a certain amount of people, that one is a huge red flag. There is no specific way to get your name in front of a bunch of people, regardless of how they promote it. Even if you were to somehow get on the radio station, you can say we have approximately, this amount of people around this time, but there's no guarantee. So the first way that you'll know that someone might be running a scam, or the first red flag, is definitely a guaranteed result. There is no guaranteed result when it comes to, the actual promoting. The second thing is that usually a lot of these promoters will only promote your music via the platform they choose. For instance, if you are a rapper and you have music on SoundCloud, let's say you have music on Pandora, let's say you have music on Apple Music and Spotify and Tidal and all of that. Usually a red flag is that promotion company is not identifying where your core market is and how much plays you're getting on those different platforms. Now, let's say I have a hyper aggressive, engaged following on Spotify, but my SoundCloud plays are not necessarily big. Why is it that a company would limit themselves to just promoting your music on SoundCloud versus Spotify, right? If anything, that company should be willing to engage you and see exactly, where your play is coming from. Or you should be able to pick a different kind of service. So maybe, you're not gonna use SoundCloud. Maybe you have a choice to use SoundCloud or Spotify or Apple Music or whatever. You should have a choice if it's a legitimate, promotion company. So a lot of times, a lot of companies that do the promotions, they always promote on SoundCloud. Now, I'm not saying just because they promote on SoundCloud that means that they're possibly a scammer. But people who are looking for money, usually they'll, go ahead and try to replicate the results in some way. Scamming has gotten very sophisticated, I guess you would say, in the last 10 years. Before, it was like when you would find a scam online, someone would promise you something and you would just never hear from them. But now there is this idea, especially with the social media age, that perceived reality is reality. And so what a lot of these companies do with the SoundCloud plays or with the SoundCloud exposure is that they'll say, we'll repost your link, or we'll repost your music onto these different SoundCloud pages. Now, generally, they're gonna have a list of SoundCloud pages that are going to be replica pages of who might be the hottest artist at the time. So if you're a singer, then maybe it's a SoundCloud replica page of Sam Smith. So you look at it, you'll see the picture, you'll see a bunch of different descriptions, you'll see a couple of songs that have got millions of plays, and then you'll see some independent artists or some upcoming artists down below it. Now, here's the thing. When you're looking for promotion and when you're looking for people people to promote your music, you're looking at the results, not just the plays. Results are much more extensive than just play count. I'm looking for engagement. I am looking for comments. I'm looking for all of these different things. I'm looking for people who have increased in their direct results with engagement, because remember, it's not about money and it's not about views, it's about engagement. If a company is promoting your music, then we are actively trying to get people to engage with your content. That's the idea, not just a bunch of plays. Now, here's the other thing, especially with SoundCloud, is you have to be wary. It's easy to register a play. All it takes is a click. As long as you've got, a bunch of people being able to just click at one time, that doesn't mean anyone's listening to your music. And the actual play count register, the way that a play is registered is different between the different platforms. It might be like 5 or 6 seconds on, a different platform versus SoundCloud. So the way that SoundCloud, registers its plays is already kind of, finicky. So you want to be wary of that too. The next way that you can identify whether or not you might be getting scammed or this might be a promotion company that's a scammer is when you go onto their website, almost all of their testimonials are from people whom you probably couldn't get in contact with. They'll have a bunch of artists that you could not just go and find an email for and email them and expect them to email back. That's a big red flag. You should be able to contact somebody who has used the services before. Here's the other thing. Let's say the price is from $40 to $200. Well, that doesn't really mix with the clientele that have given the testimonials. You know what? We've promoted Drake in the past. You've been able to provide great service to Drake. Don't you think that service would cost you significantly more money just because the name Drake should say, we know what we're doing. Look what we have done for this superstar. You see what I'm saying? You have to put 2 and 2 together. A lot of times, I think what happens with these scammers is that they go after genres of music of people that are typically younger. I know that there are no overnight successes. If there were, I wouldn't be making these kinds of videos anymore. I would just be touring and stuff. You have to be able to put 2 and 2 together. Let's recap exactly what it is that you'd be looking for if someone is scamming you. 1, you're asking questions, very specific questions. Don't talk about the results. When someone says they're going to promote you, you have to say how. How are you going to promote me? What connections do you have that I cannot reach on my own? These are very, very specific things. And any legitimate company who is looking to make money will answer any question. Think about it. If you went into a Best Buy and you are looking to buy something, they will answer every question that you have with no problem. No one is forcing you to buy anything. If they're a legitimate company, they will answer any question that you may have. Ask very specific questions. 2, remember, it's a red flag if the company is only going to utilize a specific platform to promote your music. There should be no specifics when it comes to that. You should have a choice as to where your music is going to be shown. It shouldn't just be, we're going to only use SoundCloud. It should be, on a myriad of different sites. Certainly, last but not least, when you check out the website, remember, the clientele that they are showing, the prices should somewhat match. Do not think you're going to get someone who actually has promoted Drake or promoted someone who's very big. You're going to get the same service for $60 to $200. No. With that being said, I hope that I have helped you to kind of understand how to identify a scam or a potential scammer. The things that I've listed here does not mean that those companies are necessarily scammers, but in my experience, most of them, if not all of them, are. My name is Hayden Jamal of HaydenJamal.com. You can check me out. Links are in the descriptions below. Please follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. The links are in the description below. Make sure to be the dream, stop dreaming, and subscribe. Tongue gang like Jimi Hendrix fingers on the grind, putting on for the city. Shout out girls who's bartending with a big old booty with the big old titties. Got an old school flow with an old school dance. Crispy pants with no loose ends. Too damn cool with the Goku stance. Pants all white like the Ku Klux Klan. Really give a damn about what you said? Hold up, man, let me call my friend. He gon' set up the turn up for the weekend. Set up the turn up for the weekend.